So I saw we were almost up towards another level, so I went back into the previous area. We just got the level kind of rounded out, and I refunded a passive at the hooded dude, because I don't think we need this, especially not right now. So I've taken this point back out. And I think the closest damage bonus to us right now is over this way, by removing cold resistance from enemies. Now, of course, this can't go beyond 0, and exposure is better. But for where we are, I think this is the good idea. We need a little bit of intelligence, because I'm currently not able to use any high-level ones, which means we have 2 reasons to come over here, because we're going to get additional intelligence added via this skill point. Now, something to be said about weapon sets here, because if you have a weapon set that hits this and this is going to start switching stats around, and maybe there's something to be said about avoiding that, because it can be a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes when you're trying to get your weapon sets to work. Either way, so we're going to come over this way, and that is almost the starter area of the sorcerer's finish. We could get some extra defense. We know we need to come down here eventually, but that's not necessary until we're up here. So this can wait as well. So after we've gotten a Breath of Ice, we are probably coming up for more freeze buildup. We could come for elemental damage. There is better exposure here, which is probably the main reason to come here. We could do more damage based on each ailment as well. So you might come around like this. But yeah, it's kind of symmetrical. You're not going to take this whole circle. And the main reason for that is when you see an elemental damage node, usually it's going to be less than a focused node. And that's kind of something you'll see across the board. So we may come up here, get these kind of notables, and then we're going to come and grab all of the cold stuff before we then move on to start looking at sustain. Because by the time we've got this cluster, and this cluster, damage is probably sorted. Sustain becomes the issue. We're going to need ways to keep the mana coming in and our defenses topped off. So that's kind of the way this is. This is the mana area. This is what we're going to get mana from. This is our defense area. This is what we're going to come to eventually. With that being said, let's set off and continue improving ourselves. This is probably going to be a pretty short video. The next one we're probably going to go with bombing up some gear, or what to do if your loadout is completely bricked at this point, or something's gone really wrong. You just haven't had any good drops or anything like this. How we can go about fixing that before the act boss. So that's probably going to get its own quick video, just so people have got that available if they need it. But if you've been following along, it shouldn't be too difficult for you to have found some good stuff. I mean, I feel like I got a bit lucky with the level 2 ice abilities on the staff. My damage is obviously amazing, but I have seen quite a lot. I've seen one for lightning as well drop, and so we could be going lightning right now. And I would like to switch to a wand and a focus, so I may make that the thing that I do for that video. Alright, as we're going around, we should come to the Executioner's block. If I remember rightly, I think this is like... something that's up. Pretty sure this is where we started the game up at the top, so pretty cool. We're going to put the Executioner down. There's no exception to the cold building up very nicely on him. We've got to be careful. He does have big physical attack damage, so if he hits, he may hit really hard. I do have some armor. I don't want to test it, though. So this is a good example of if we can just stay under his attacks, we're pretty safe. I shouldn't say safe. That's not really a very good word for this game. Don't get hit by the guillotine. He can magic out of the sky. Stick with it. Shouldn't be a huge issue. Enemies don't want to stop coming. Wow. Oh, there's an enemy reviving them somewhere. Alright, let's get up and free the prisoner. Alright, it's all done. And that, as you can see on the map, does count as our boss. I'm going to make sure I've done all the nooks and crannies on the map before we continue forward. Now, hello, we found a special boss. Let's deal with you. Yeah, got the door. Didn't drop anything too amazing. That moves us into the Manor Ramparts, where we can continue. Progress appears to be going good. I actually got a nice item that I can craft on as well. If we get lucky, this will just save me an Artificer's armor, right? Because it's the same armor set that I've already got. And the one we have actually has quality on it. That's interesting. The one that we have only gives me additional armor, and shield, life, and regen anyway. So it's not too difficult to replace. So we'll see how that goes. I still have a spare ring slot. Let's fill that. Why didn't I fill that? That's so hilarious. Alright, I've got a waypoint. I'm going to quickly empty my inventory. We've got a NPC to talk to as well, so let's do that. Latest, give me a reward. Ooh, level 5 skill gem. You shouldn't have. We get a new quest, very nice. Let's get everything identified as per usual. So in case you haven't seen this, we can speak to Hooded One here, identify the passives. In case I didn't show you, this is where you do respecking. Alright, the question is, what's going to get the level 5 skill treatment? Oh, I can't do any of them. I need more intelligence, that's why. The sad thing is, none of these are good for us right now. Cold Snap is kind of okay, but it's better if we can get its auto cast. And by the time we can do that, we end up with better skills anyway, such as Comet. It's kind of sad. You'd think the actual consumption ability would do more than Comet, but it doesn't right now. I feel like that's something that needs a balance. So the thing that's going to get level 5 treatment is crossbomb, but we need more intelligence first. So we need to take care of that before I can use this skill gem. So for now, you go into storage. I suppose the question is, okay, so if you're in this situation that I'm in right now, where you need a little bit more of a stat, and we have a little bit of headroom. I notice I'd like to keep a spare, but we can take some dexterity out, put that into intelligence, and that's going to sort this out. So we're going to come over to Mr. Hooded one here, and all we need to do is select a node like this one, for example, and I can switch that to intelligence for a fee. This gets more expensive as you get to a higher level, but that does fix my issue right now and means that I can make Frost Bomb do more damage, which is exactly what we want to happen. As we are moving forward with an empty inventory, we can now make our way through the Manor Ramparts. I think this is like the second to last zone, so we're getting there. And I want to finish just as we're kind of at the end of the final zone so that we can be in a good position to finish off the act. Make sure we've gone around everywhere, as per usual. Only one thing to find. We have an item somewhere, and I guess we might as well go ahead and find it. A cheeky little level up. We'll get some extra cold penetration on there. Alright, I was clearly mistaken earlier. This is actually the gallows. So we're going to get ourselves an uncut support gem. Is that the item? It is the item. Aha. So make sure we grab that. We get ourselves an extra support gem. I don't think I need it right now, but we'll save it just in case we need it later on. And that's the ramparts done. If you are feeling the heat in here, I got through pretty fine. Should be okay. But this is going to be a good place for you to start getting some gear in. There's quite a few yellow enemies for me. But the manor itself is probably going to be the best place before the boss. When we played this before, this is where we started to get essences. This is where we started to get essences appearing. So this will make crafting easier for people if we can get some to drop on our way through. And as we're making our way through Ogham Manor, something to bear in mind is when you first look at this, you don't really see much going on. Make sure you press this button. We've mentioned it before, but as you can see, there is a boss here that we absolutely must kill. So we're going to make sure that we get that. It's actually, I think, usually pretty close to the beginning, but we'll see as we go forward. Got ourselves another cheeky level up. Gets us the last of the cold resistance just in time for the boss, which is kind of nice, actually. Just intelligence. Now we've got some headroom on that, which is good. And you'll know you found the optional boss when you find this fallen altar. Pretty obvious with all of the pews in here. We need to go up here and activate the boss. We want you now. Yeah. Should not be too big of an issue for us. Be careful because the moves can be a bit naughty. Like that. But we've got plenty of big damage of our own, which is good. This is another boss where being closer can help you get away from some of its moves. But if you've been following along, should not be too much of an issue for us. We actually got a yellow armor and energy shield here, which we might just use with all of those increased stats. That is some extremely good defenses for what we're about to fight. More armor, more energy shield, more armor and energy shield, cold resistance. Make sure you come on in and use the essence for an additional 20 life. And why wouldn't? And we can continue on with the zone. To the next level. And if we check the map, we should be... Yeah, we're all clear. We have everything on the map grayed out except for final boss, which is cool. Let's just make our way. There's like an elevator we need to reach, which is where we end the video. Well, we just got a nice piece of candy drop there. What's that? So we've got some mana regen, we got evasion, energy shield, life, rarity, and fire. Not exactly amazing for right now, but it does update our resistances. So fire is now 35%. We need some lightning really, but other than that, we're looking solid. When it comes to progressing around here, what you'll find is if it's just a door, usually it's just going to take you to some lore. So if you're bothered about that, you can go through. There's going to be like a couple of small piles of gold. But generally speaking, we're looking for stairs that lead downwards. So if you're looking to get through the area quickly, that is what you want to be keeping an eye for. Often you're going to go past this hole in the ground that you can see here where people are working for the dude. And we have arrived at the arena for the boss. This is where I'm actually going to end this video. You guys can also go ahead and face me if you want to, but I want to do a quick video just on if people have really bad luck with gear or just haven't had anything drop or things aren't going well for them just yet, how they can start fixing that. I will catch you guys very shortly for that.